And I was told if I said anything, I would be blackballed.
Meaning she's not gonna go get invited to all the big meets. She's not gonna get the money, all that stuff. So,
The story of the 2012 U.S. Olympic trials controversy between Allyson Felix and Jennifer Tarmoh in the women's 100 meter highlights the complexities of competitive sports, media narratives, organizational decision making, and corruption. It shines a light on the USATF governing body and personal dynamics between teammates, which so many saw as an unfair, controversial moment in track and field history. Before this video starts, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram, it's linked down below in the descriptions, and send me all messages and concerns that you have there to my DM. Become a member of my channel, it's linked down below in the description as well. And if you appreciate this video, be sure to hit the thanks button right above the comment section. Let's jump straight into it. In 2012, at the USA Olympic trials, Allyson Felix and Jennifer Tarmoh competed in the 100 meter dash at a high-stakes race to qualify for the London Olympics. The top 3 finishers will earn a spot on a Team USA to represent the country in London. The race ended in what appeared to be a third-place tie between Felix and Tarmoh, both clocking an identical time of 11:06. Carmelita Jeter won the race, with Tiana Madison finishing second. After the timer officially looked at the photo finish and broke it down, it was announced that Tarmoh had secured the third spot, with Felix finishing fourth. This seemed to settle things in the immediate aftermath, with Tarmoh believing she had made the team. However, things took a dramatic turn when USATF later declared that the race had, in fact, resulted in a tie after reviewing the photo finish.
We have an announcement regarding the women's 100 meter final. This will be posted shortly on the USATF website, but I wanted to read it so we could get it out immediately. In short, I'll start with the headline, which is that we have a dead heat for third place in the women's 100 meters.
Leading up into the 2012 Olympics, USATF and Nike were pushing millions of dollars behind Allyson, promoting her as the golden girl for their upcoming Olympic Games. Allyson Felix was already a well-established track and field star by 2012, having won multiple Olympic medals in the 200 and 400. Her reputation was that of a hard-working, humble athlete. However, the incident painted a different picture for some, especially in how the situation unfolded with Tarmoh. From Tarmoh's perspective, Felix's handling of the tie was questionable. Felix, being the more experienced and famous athlete, held significant influence. Some saw her actions during the controversy as a calculated move to secure her spot in the 100 meters, even though her primary event was the 200. Felix's desire to double in both the 100 and 200 was no secret, but Tarmoh believed that Felix should have graciously accepted fourth place finish instead of pushing the resolution that could cost Tarmoh her Olympic dream. Tarmoh was left feeling betrayed, especially because she had already been announced as a third place finisher and had even did interviews and celebrated her achievement.
Well, the way everything took off was pretty much the night before I spoke with Allyson. I told her how I felt. I said, Allyson, I'm not comfortable with the runoff, and I'm not comfortable with the coin toss. I don't really have a decision. I don't want to do anything, honestly. Could we talk about this? And she said, well, how do you feel? And I said, I feel like if I would have won fair and square, that's how it should be. They shouldn't change their mind. If it was you, they wouldn't change their mind. I felt like if I did my victory lap, I went to the press conference, I celebrated with joy, that shouldn't be taken away from me. We go into the meeting with USATF chair board, and my agent said to Allyson, Jennifer's under the impression that if we talk to the time master and he tells us how he feels and what he thinks, then you will concede your spot. And Allyson said, I didn't mean that. I meant if you can change the official results, then I'll concede my spot. Then that's what's going to happen, because I worked hard for this too. I can't just give up my spot. And when she said that, I was just in shock.
You thought you had an understanding with Allyson Felix.
Yes.
Do you feel that Allyson Felix betrayed you, or she just misunderstood what your arrangement was?
I think we both misunderstood each other. At the time in the meeting, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel betrayed. I felt like she said one thing and did another.
It seemed like her teammate Felix and her team and the higher up at Nike were using their clout to pressure USATF into revisiting the result, even though Tarmoh felt she had earned her spot. It raised questions about Felix's true character. Was she being an opportunist and manipulative behind her friendly public image? The USATF handling of the situation only added to the controversy. Critics accused the organization of being corrupt, catering to high-profile athletes like Felix, while disregarding the emotional toll it took on the less established athletes like Tarmoh. USATF's decision to call the race a tie after initially declaring Tarmoh the winner seems suspicious to many, especially given Felix's stature in the sport. Because everyone knew if the roles were reversed and Felix was announced the winner and Tarmoh was announced fourth, there would have been nothing done about it.
Mind you, the moment this happened, I called my coach, and my coach was the one who said, that's politics. She's not going to want to be involved in this. And then afterwards, he became dead silent.
Silence? Wow. Because, the money, the cash cow, man. Follow the money in sports.
So,
follow the money.
And I was told if I said anything, I would be blackballed.
To resolve the tie, USATF proposed two options: a runoff between Felix and Tarmoh, or a coin toss. Tarmoh was reluctant to participate in the runoff, feeling she had already won and she should not have to race again. The notion of a coin toss to determine who would make the Olympic team also seemed a bit absurd for such a prestigious event. The entire situation became a media spectacle, with USATF looking increasingly disorganized and unfair. Many felt that the organization should have made a clear decision immediately after the race instead of dragging the process out and subjecting Tarmoh and Felix to unnecessary stress. The delay had only fueled speculation that USATF was bending over backwards to accommodate Felix, who had a massive sponsorship deal with Nike and was one of the biggest names in the whole entire sport.
At first, I didn't understand the decision, but when you explained it to me, I definitely understood. And when I saw what was going on, because you even had other Olympians in the background. I remember Michael Johnson talking about it in the lobby, and she was like, "Man, we know what's going on. That Nike threw that money at a certain person, and they want to make sure that they're there. They promoted the Olympics in a certain way. So, it was a crazy time.
The most damaging part for USATF's reputation was the perception that favoritism was in play. Felix was the more marketable athlete, a seasoned Olympian, and a media darling. Tarmoh, in contrast, was relatively unknown. Critics argued that USATF wanted Felix on the 100 meters squad to increase the sport's visibility and marketability at the London Olympics, even if it meant undermining the fairness of the selection process. In the time leading up to the runoff, Tarmoh was being harassed and humiliated publicly and behind the scenes. She was bullied and harassed so bad, her family started to get insulted, and she even started receiving threats. In the end, she was harassed so much, she refused to participate in the runoff, stating that the entire ordeal had taken an emotional toll on her and that she no longer felt it was fair. She gave up her spot, allowing Allyson Felix to officially claim the third place on the team. Tarmoh's decision to walk away from the runoff raised question about the pressure and mental fatigue she had endured throughout the process. Felix went on to compete in the 100 meters at the London Olympics, but did not even medal in the event. She did, however, win gold in the 200 and was a part of the 4x1 and 4x4 relay team that won gold as well. Tarmoh, meanwhile, competed in the relays, but didn't have an individual glory that she might have wanted to achieve in the 100. And despite running the prelims of the 4x1 at the Olympics, Tarmoh was replaced in the final and didn't even get to run the final round. The 2012 incident left a lasting stain on both Felix's image and the USATF's reputation. For many, Felix remained a beloved figure in the sport, but there were those who viewed her as having taken advantage of the system and her stature to secure a spot that should have went to Tarmoh. USATF's handling of the situation, from a botched race result to bizarre options to resolve the tie, underscored the challenges of running a fair and transparent organization in the high-stakes world of track and field. For Tarmoh, the incident was a heartbreaking chapter in her career, one that could have only been handled with more dignity and fairness. It was a moment that exposed the pressures faced by the lesser-known athletes who must navigate a world where their fame and marketability often trumps fairness. In the end, the controversy served as a reminder of the power dynamic in sports and the way that the governing bodies like USATF and Nike can fall short of their duty to ensure fair play for all athletes, regardless of their fame or status. Be sure to let me know what you guys think about this whole situation down below in the comments. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram. It's linked down below in the description. Until next time,